Liam had always felt small in his big world. At 12 years old, he was not the tallest in his class, not the fastest, and certainly not the strongest. But he had something many others lacked, a curiosity that never rested. While other kids spent their afternoons playing games or watching shows, Liam preferred to climb hills, explore forests, and gaze at the night sky. He loved to think about what might be out there, beyond the stars, beyond the clouds, beyond the limits of Earth. It was a warm summer afternoon when Liam set out on one of his favorite walks. The forest at the edge of his town was quiet and ancient, full of twisted trees, hidden paths, and birds that seemed to sing only for him. He loved the smell of wet earth and the way sunlight spilled through the canopy, making golden patterns on the ground. Today, though, there was a strange shimmer in the air, something he had never noticed before. Liam followed the shimmer deep into the woods. He pushed aside thick branches, stepped over gnarled roots, and finally came upon a cave he had never seen. Its entrance was small, almost hidden, but inside he noticed a faint glow pulsing like a heartbeat. Curiosity overwhelmed caution. He took a deep breath and stepped forward. The glow grew brighter as he moved deeper into the cave. Suddenly the air shimmered and warped like heat rising from asphalt. Before Liam could even blink, the world around him twisted and he felt himself lifted off the ground. His stomach sank as if he were on a roller coaster that had no tracks. Then in an instant he landed gently on soft ground. Liam opened his eyes and froze. He was no longer on Earth. The sky was a deep violet, streaked with two suns that hovered low over jagged mountains. The trees were taller than skyscrapers, with leaves that glowed faintly, lighting the ground below. Strange birds with shimmering wings glided through the air, and in the distance Liam could see rivers that reflected the colors of the sky like liquid glass. The air smelled sweet and sharp at the same time, and he could hear sounds unlike anything on Earth, a low hum that seemed to vibrate in his chest, and the rustle of enormous creatures moving through the underbrush. Liam's heart raced. He had dreamed of discovering alien worlds, but he had never imagined it would happen like this. He took a careful step forward, unsure of what he would find. From the corner of his eye he saw movement. A shadow shifted among the glowing trees, massive and powerful. Liam froze, remembering every story he had ever heard about dangerous predators. His mind screamed at him to run, but his legs felt like lead. Then it stepped into the light. Kyle-Thar was enormous even by Liam's young imagination. His skin was dark and patterned like stone etched with fire. His eyes glowed with an amber light, and his muscles moved under his skin like rivers of strength. He wore armor that shimmered like liquid metal, and carried a weapon unlike any Liam had ever seen. A blade that seemed to hum with power. Every inch of Kyle-Thar radiated authority, danger, and skill. He was a warrior, and the stories of his ferocity were known across galaxies. Kyle-Thar stopped a few steps away and looked down at Liam, tilting his head in curiosity. "Human," he said in a deep, resonant voice, "what are you doing here?" Liam swallowed hard, his voice barely more than a whisper. I don't know. I found a cave and it brought me here." Kyle-Thar's eyes narrowed. He had encountered many species, some weak, some dangerous, but humans were rare. In his experience, they were fragile, clever at times, and often underestimated. But this human boy, he seemed different. There was a spark of courage in his eyes, something Kyle-Thar could not ignore. Fragile yet unafraid, Kyle-Thar muttered. He crouched slightly, trying to appear less threatening. "You should not be here. This is a world of danger. One wrong step and you will die." Liam's curiosity overcame fear. I can handle it. I just want to explore." Kyle-Thar studied the boy for a long moment. Then with a quick motion he gestured. "Follow me. If you survive the first day, maybe you can survive the next." Liam nodded eagerly. He had no idea what he had just agreed to, but he felt a strange trust toward the alien. Kyle-Thar led him through the forest, teaching him to move quietly, to listen to the sounds of the land, and to recognize creatures that might be dangerous. Liam learned quickly, his small size and human agility proving useful in ways Kyle-Thar had not expected. As they walked, a sudden roar echoed through the trees. Liam froze, his heart pounding in his chest. From the shadows emerged a massive predator, with scales that reflected the violet sunlight and claws sharp enough to slice through metal. Kyle-Thar raised his weapon, but Liam noticed a narrow path along the cliffside. Without thinking, he dashed along it, shouting to distract the creature. The predator turned toward him, giving Kael'thar the chance to strike. With a single precise motion, Kael'thar felled the beast. Liam's quick thinking and bravery had saved the alien warrior from a dangerous strike. Kael'thar looked down at him, his expression unreadable. "You are reckless," Kael'thar said. "And yet, you have courage." Liam smiled, exhausted but proud. "I just wanted to help." Kael'thar's gaze softened slightly. "Perhaps you are not as fragile as I thought." He extended a clawed hand. "I am Kael'thar. Remember my name, human. It may be the only thing that keeps you alive here." "I'm Liam," he said, shaking Kael'thar's massive hand carefully. For the rest of the day, Kael'thar guided Liam through the alien world. They crossed glowing rivers, scaled cliffs, and encountered creatures that challenged their wits and bravery. Liam learned to respect the world's dangers, and in turn, Kael'thar began to see the value in Liam's intelligence, his curiosity, and his courage. As night fell, the two sat on a cliff overlooking a valley bathed in bioluminescent light. Liam looked at the stars in the alien sky, thinking of Earth, of his parents, of the life he had left behind. He felt small, yes, but also part of something much bigger, a galaxy full of wonders, dangers, and possibilities. Kael'thar spoke, his voice quiet in the night. "You have survived the first day. That is no small feat for a human. Perhaps you have a place here." Liam's eyes widened. "A place here, you mean?" "I could stay." Kael'thar nodded slowly. "Stay, learn, survive. And maybe one day, you will become more than just a visitor. Perhaps you could become a brother in this world." Liam could hardly believe it. He had dreamed of exploring space, of meeting aliens, of seeing new worlds, but never had he imagined that an alien warrior, the fiercest in the galaxy, would see him as more than a weak human. The night passed with strange, beautiful sounds filling the air, and Liam slept beside Kael'thar, feeling a strange mix of fear, excitement, and hope. Tomorrow would bring more lessons, more dangers, and more chances to prove himself. But for the first time in his life, Liam felt that he belonged somewhere beyond Earth, somewhere that recognized courage, intelligence, and heart. And somewhere deep inside, Kael'thar felt the same spark. Perhaps this small human boy could survive. Perhaps this small human boy could be more than anyone imagined. Perhaps he could become a true brother. One day, not just in name, but in spirit. The stars of the alien sky shone brightly above them, as if acknowledging the beginning of an extraordinary journey. A journey that would change the fate of a boy from Earth and the galaxy's fiercest alien forever. The next morning, Liam woke to the soft hum of the alien forest. Strange lights flickered among the trees, and distant creatures called out to one another in voices that vibrated in the chest. He sat up, rubbing his eyes, and realized Kael'thar was already awake, standing beside him, watching the horizon with a serious expression. "You must learn quickly," Kael'thar said, his voice calm but firm. "This world does not forgive weakness. Even the smallest mistake can be deadly." Liam nodded, eager to prove himself. He was not afraid of hard work, and he wanted to show the alien warrior that humans were capable of more than the galaxy expected. Their first lesson was about survival. Kael'thar led Liam to a wide river with water that shimmered in green and gold. The current was strong, and enormous creatures slithered beneath the surface. "The river gives life," Kael'thar said, "but it can also take life in a single moment. Watch, learn, and respect it." Kael'thar demonstrated how to move silently along the bank, how to spot the subtle ripples that indicated danger, and how to catch food without attracting predators. Liam followed closely, his small hands and nimble movements allowing him to replicate Kael'thar's techniques faster than the alien expected. By the end of the morning, Liam had managed to catch a small, shimmering fish using only his bare hands. Kael'thar raised an eyebrow, impressed. "You have skill," Kael'thar admitted, "but skill alone is not enough. You must also understand the ways of the mind. A warrior is not only strong in body, but also strong in thought." They spent the afternoon training in the dense forests. Kael'thar set obstacles for Liam: fallen logs to climb, thorned vines to navigate, and hidden pitfalls to detect. Liam stumbled several times, but he refused to give up. Each failure taught him a lesson, and each success built his confidence. Kael'thar watched silently, noting how quickly the boy adapted to the alien environment. As the sun dipped behind jagged mountains, Kael'thar brought Liam to a small village nestled in the glowing forest. The village was unlike anything on Earth. Towers of stone and metal twisted toward the sky, connected by bridges of shimmering energy. Alien villagers moved with grace and strength, their bodies built for endurance and combat. They eyed Liam with curiosity and suspicion, whispering among themselves. "This is your new family if you survive," Kelthar said, "but first you must earn their respect." The villagers presented Liam with small tasks, carrying supplies, helping repair structures, and assisting in training exercises. At first they doubted him, whispering that a human child could not keep up. But Liam surprised them. He used his small size and quick thinking to solve problems the villagers could not. When a heavy load of metal threatened to fall, Liam shifted it just in time, preventing damage and earning nods of approval. When a puzzle meant to test intelligence baffled the elders, Liam solved it with clever reasoning. By nightfall, some villagers began to smile at him, and a few even offered words of encouragement. Kelthar observed silently, proud of the boys' persistence. But their progress was tested the next day. A storm rolled across the valley, fierce and unrelenting. Wind tore at trees and lightning struck with frightening precision. Kelthar guided Liam through the chaos, teaching him to read the weather, find shelter, and stay calm under pressure. Liam learned to move with purpose, to avoid dangers both large and small. Then a scream pierced the storm. A young alien child had been trapped near a cliff by the rising water. Without hesitation, Liam ran toward the danger. Kelthar tried to stop him, but Liam was already moving, his mind racing for a solution. He found a sturdy branch, extended it toward the child, and carefully guided them to safety. Kelthar arrived moments later, both impressed and relieved. "You risked yourself for another," Kelthar said quietly. After the storm passed, few would do so without hesitation. That is bravery, yes, but also wisdom. Liam felt proud but also aware of the danger. He realized that being brave was not only about facing fear, it was about making smart choices, about thinking ahead, about protecting others. Over the following days, Kelthar continued to teach Liam about the alien warrior culture. They practiced combat drills not with intent to kill, but to understand strength, strategy, and timing. Liam was small, yes, but his agility and creativity made him a unique student. Kelthar taught him the importance of respect. Respect for allies, for enemies, and for the land itself. One afternoon, while exploring a canyon, they encountered a creature known as a stoneback, a massive beast with armor like scales and eyes like molten gold. The stoneback was known for its unpredictable temperament, and Kelthar warned Liam to stay hidden. But Liam noticed something unusual. The creature's movement was uneven, as if it were injured. Using what he had learned, Liam quietly approached and spotted a shard of metal embedded in its leg. He carefully removed the shard and helped the stoneback stand. The creature looked at him with intelligent eyes, then lumbered away peacefully. Kelthar watched silently, a faint smile on his face. "A warrior is not only defined by strength," he said. "It is also defined by mercy, by judgment, and by courage in unexpected forms. You are learning, Liam. Perhaps faster than any human I have ever seen." As days turned into weeks, Liam's bond with Kelthar deepened. They shared meals, stories, and moments of quiet reflection under alien skies. Kelthar began to see Liam not just as a student, but as a companion, someone he could rely on, someone whose mind complemented his strength. One evening, Kelthar took Liam to a high plateau overlooking the forest. The suns were setting, painting the sky in shades of purple, orange, and gold. "Tomorrow," Kelthar said, "you will face your first trial of courage in front of the village elders. It will not be easy. They will test your mind, your body, and your heart. Only then will you truly be accepted among us." Liam swallowed, nervous but excited. He had come so far, from a curious boy on Earth to someone surviving, learning, and thriving in an alien world. He looked at Kelthar and nodded. "I'm ready." Kelthar placed a massive hand on Liam's shoulder. "Remember this, human. Strength alone does not make a warrior. Courage, intelligence, and compassion, these are what define a true brother in arms." As night fell, Liam lay beneath the alien stars, thinking of everything he had learned. He realized that being brave was more than fighting. It was learning, adapting, helping others, and standing firm when fear tried to take over. He had already survived storms, strange creatures, and challenges no human should face. And he had done it alongside Kelthar, the fiercest warrior in the galaxy. The boy felt a sense of belonging he had never known. For the first time, he understood that family could be more than blood. It could be trust, respect, and shared experiences. Tomorrow he would face the elders and prove himself, not just to them but to Kylthar and, most importantly, to himself. The night passed peacefully, with the sounds of the alien forest surrounding them. Liam slept with a sense of purpose, dreaming not of home but of the adventures to come, of the challenges he would face, and of the bond he was forming with a warrior unlike any he had ever known. Kylthar watched him from a short distance, silent and proud. This small human, so different from any being he had encountered, had already proven his worth in ways that no one could have predicted. Tomorrow the real test would begin. But Kylthar knew, deep inside, that Liam had already begun his transformation from a curious boy into a true companion, a human who could survive and thrive among the galaxy's fiercest warriors. And so, as the twin moons rose high above the alien forest, casting silver light over the glowing trees, Liam and Kylthar prepared for the challenges ahead. The journey was only beginning, but one thing was clear. This human boy was no longer just a visitor. He was a student, a fighter, and perhaps one day a true brother-in-arms to the fiercest alien in the galaxy. The sun had just begun to rise over the jagged mountains when Liam and Kylthar approached the village elders' hall. The structure was massive, made of stone and glowing energy that pulsed softly like a heartbeat. Villagers of all ages moved around the hall, their eyes fixed on the approaching duo. Today was Liam's first formal test in the alien world, and tension hung thick in the air. Kylthar placed a heavy hand on Liam's shoulder. Remember what you have learned. Courage, intelligence, and compassion. They will watch for all three. Fail in one and respect is not earned. Liam nodded, swallowing hard. His heart pounded, but he drew strength from the lessons Kylthar had taught him. This was more than a test. It was a chance to prove that a human could survive and even thrive among the galaxy's fiercest warriors. The elders were waiting inside, seated on platforms that rose high above the floor. They were tall, imposing, and covered in intricate armor, each marking their rank and achievements. Their eyes glowed faintly as they regarded Liam, assessing him with a combination of curiosity and skepticism. "Human," one elder said in a deep voice, "you stand before us in a world where strength defines survival. You are small, untrained, and untested. Why should we believe you belong here?" Liam took a deep breath. "I may be small, but I have learned your ways. I have faced dangers, helped those in need, and survived storms and creatures that could have killed me. I want to belong here, and I am ready to prove myself." A murmur ran through the hall. Kylthar watched silently, knowing that the boy had spoken truthfully. The first test was physical. The elders led Liam to an obstacle course carved into the cliffside outside the hall. Jagged rocks, swinging platforms, and rushing streams tested balance, speed, and agility. Liam's small size worked to his advantage. He darted across narrow ledges, jumped over gaps with precision, and avoided hazards that could have injured even the strongest alien. At one point, a heavy log swung toward him from a rope. Without thinking, Liam rolled under it, narrowly escaping, and continued forward. The elders nodded, impressed by his quick thinking. Kylthar stood nearby, his eyes sharp, but a faint smile crossed his face. The boy was not only surviving, he was thriving. After completing the course, the next test was mental. The elders presented Liam with a puzzle, a glowing cube with patterns that shifted continuously. It was a challenge meant to test intelligence and patience. Many aliens, trained from birth in their warrior ways, struggled with it. Liam studied the cube carefully, recalling what Kylthar had taught him about observation and problem-solving. Slowly, deliberately, he rotated the cube, noticing patterns and symmetry. After several tense minutes, he aligned the cube correctly, causing it to emit a soft hum and glow steadily. The elders exchanged glances, murmuring among themselves. The human boy had passed the mental test. Kylthar's chest swelled with pride. Liam was showing that human creativity could match alien strength and discipline. The final test was the most difficult, the test of heart. A simulation room was set up to challenge Liam emotionally. Holographic images of villagers in danger, storms, and predators appeared around him. The task was to protect as many as possible without succumbing to fear. Liam's first instinct was to panic, but he remembered Kylthar's lessons. He moved quickly, prioritizing those in the greatest danger, using both agility and clever thinking. He shielded a holographic child from a falling boulder, and guided a group of villagers away from an approaching predator simulation. The elders watched silently, Noting his decisions, his courage, and his compassion, Liam acted not out of a desire to impress, but because it was the right thing to do. His heart guided him as much as his mind. When the simulation ended, silence filled the hall. Then slowly, the eldest of the elders rose. "Human," he said, his voice echoing. "You have shown strength in body, mind, and heart. Rarely has any being, alien or otherwise, completed these trials with such skill and wisdom. You have earned your place." A cheer went up from the villagers, and Kael'thar stepped forward, his massive frame towering over Liam. "You have done well, brother," he said, placing a hand on Liam's shoulder. "Today you are no longer merely a student. You are one of us, a companion and a warrior in your own right." Liam felt a surge of pride and relief. The months of training, the struggles, and the fears had all led to this moment. He had proven that humans, often underestimated by other species, could hold their own even among the galaxy's fiercest warriors. The days that followed were filled with new challenges. Kael'thar took Liam on missions to protect villages from predators and environmental hazards. They crossed forests filled with creatures that could crush a human in seconds, navigated deserts with heat that would burn exposed skin, and climbed mountains that seemed impossible to scale. Through each mission, Liam learned not only survival skills but also leadership. He began to recognize danger before it arrived, suggest strategies to Kael'thar, and assist villagers in ways that surprised even the most experienced warriors. Kael'thar's respect for him grew with each passing day. One afternoon, while exploring a valley near a glowing lake, Liam noticed tracks that suggested a dangerous predator, a Clawed, winged beast known to the locals as a sky crusher, was nearby. Without telling Kael'thar immediately, Liam studied the tracks, observing the direction and speed. Kael'thar noticed his concentration and asked, "What do you see, human?" "The predator is hunting," Liam said, pointing. "It's following the river, likely looking for food. If we move carefully, we can guide it away from the village without fighting it." Kael'thar raised an eyebrow. "A bold plan. Do you think it will work?" "I believe so," Liam replied. "We just need to be patient and move strategically." Together, they set the plan into motion. Using clever traps and natural terrain, they guided the sky crusher away from the village. The villagers watched in awe as the small human boy directed the largest predator in the area without harming it. After the predator disappeared, Kael'thar turned to Liam. "I underestimated humans," he said quietly. "Your mind is sharper than many aliens I have trained for decades. Today you have saved not just lives, but the respect of our people." The villagers cheered, surrounding Liam with smiles and applause. Liam felt a warmth he had never experienced before. He realized that bravery was not just about strength, it was about intelligence, compassion, and the willingness to act for others. That night, Kael'thar and Liam sat by the glowing lake, watching the twin moons rise. "You have grown faster than I imagined," Kael'thar said. "Soon you may face challenges that will test everything you know, but I am confident you will rise to them. Humans are more capable than the galaxy gives them credit for." Liam smiled, feeling proud yet humble. "I still have so much to learn," he said. "But I want to keep learning, Kael'thar. I want to help. I want to be ready for anything." Kael'thar nodded, placing a large hand on Liam's shoulder. "Then you will. Together we will face what comes. And one day, the galaxy may know that humans are not just small and fragile, they are clever, courageous, and worthy of respect." As they sat together, the stars reflecting in the calm lake, Liam felt a sense of belonging he had never known. He was no longer just a boy from Earth. He was a student, a protector, and most importantly, a brother to the galaxy's fiercest alien. The journey was far from over, but Liam knew that with Kael'thar by his side there was nothing he could not face. The boy who had stepped through a mysterious portal had grown into someone extraordinary, a human capable of surviving, thriving, and earning respect among beings who had once doubted him. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new missions, and perhaps new dangers, but Liam no longer feared them. He had learned courage, intelligence, and heart, and he had earned the right to call Kael'thar not just a mentor, but a brother. The alien world stretched before them, full of mysteries and adventures yet to come. Liam felt ready, knowing that no matter what lay ahead, he would face it with strength, wisdom, and loyalty, qualities that would one day make him a legend among humans and aliens alike. The following morning, the alien world seemed unusually still. Even the glowing trees and shimmering rivers seemed quieter, as if the forest itself was holding its breath. Kael'thar and Liam had risen early, preparing for a journey to a distant settlement that had sent urgent word of trouble. "The elders say the situation is serious," Kael'thar explained as they walked through a forest path. "A band of raiders has been attacking villages near the eastern cliffs. They take what they want and leave destruction behind. Our task is to protect them, and if possible, drive the raiders away permanently." Liam listened carefully. He had learned much from Kael'thar, but this would be his first mission involving real combat, not just training or problem-solving. Fear mingled with excitement in his chest. He knew he would have to rely on every lesson Kael'thar had taught him: courage, intelligence, and compassion. As they approached the first village, the evidence of the raiders' violence became clear. Buildings were damaged, supplies scattered, and villagers worked frantically to repair what they could. Children clung to their parents, eyes wide with fear. Liam's heart tightened. He hated seeing anyone suffer, and now he had the power and the knowledge to help. Kael'thar led Liam to the village square. "Observe first," he instructed. "Understand the situation before acting. Many make the mistake of rushing in without thought. Strategy is as important as strength." Liam nodded, scanning the area. He noticed subtle signs: footprints leading away from the damaged houses, discarded weapons, and markings on the trees that indicated the raiders' likely path. Using his human perspective, Liam suggested a plan. "If we block the canyon paths here," he said, pointing, "we can control their movement. They'll have to face us instead of ambushing more villagers." Kael'thar studied him silently, then inclined his head. "Clever. We will use your idea, but we must act quickly. There is little time." Together they set up the defensive positions. Liam guided villagers to safe spots, using ropes and barriers to create choke points. Kael'thar moved among the adults, instructing them on combat techniques and keeping morale high. By sunset, the village was ready. The raiders would come soon, and Liam felt a strange mixture of fear and determination. Night fell, and with it the raiders arrived. They moved swiftly, but the traps and barricades Liam had helped set slowed them down. Kael'thar engaged the first wave, his blade moving like lightning, striking with precision and force. Liam stayed back initially, watching and learning. But when he saw a raider sneaking toward a group of children, his instincts took over. He darted forward, throwing a weighted net over the intruder. The raider stumbled, giving Kael'thar a chance to disarm him. The villagers cheered, impressed by the human boy's quick thinking and bravery. Liam's confidence grew. He realized that being small did not mean being powerless. Intelligence, courage, and timing could make a difference. The battle raged for hours. Liam worked alongside Kael'thar, guiding villagers, setting traps, and rescuing those in danger. At one point, a raider armed with a sharp blade lunged at Liam from behind. Kael'thar reacted instantly, knocking the raider aside with a swift motion. Liam nodded to Kael'thar, grateful for the intervention, but determined to learn from the experience. When the dust settled, the raiders had retreated. The village was safe thanks to the combined efforts of Kael'thar, Liam, and the villagers themselves. Exhausted but triumphant, Liam looked around, realizing that he had played a significant role in protecting lives. Kael'thar placed a hand on his shoulder. "You have done well today, brother," Kael'thar said, "not by strength alone, but by mind and heart. You are becoming more than a visitor in this world. You are a protector." Liam smiled, feeling pride swell within him. He had never imagined that a boy from Earth could achieve such things, but here he was, standing beside the galaxy's fiercest warrior, having saved a village from destruction. The following days were filled with missions across the alien world. Some were simple, delivering supplies to remote villages, rescuing lost travelers, or repairing damaged structures. Others were more dangerous, involving encounters with predators, hostile territories, and natural hazards. Through each mission, Liam learned to anticipate danger, make quick decisions, and help others without hesitation. One afternoon, Kael'thar took Liam to a cliff overlooking a deep canyon. "Today we will train in strategy," Kael'thar explained. "A warrior must see the battlefield not as individuals but as a whole. Awareness and planning can be as powerful as a weapon." Kael'thar set up a simulation using holographic projections of enemy forces. Liam studied the projections carefully, noting patterns, weaknesses, and opportunities. He suggested positioning defenders at specific points, predicting how the enemies might react. Kael'thar tested each suggestion, and time after time Liam's strategies worked. "You think like no one else I have trained," Kael'thar said, clearly impressed. "Your human mind is a rare gift. Use it well and you will survive any battle." Later, as they rested, Liam looked out at the horizon. He felt a deep connection to this world, to Kael'thar, and to the villagers who now trusted him. He realized that being a warrior was not about fighting alone. It was about teamwork, strategy, and protecting those who could not protect themselves. But the real test came unexpectedly. A massive predator, larger and more dangerous than any Liam had faced before, appeared near the village. Its scales were dark and jagged, its eyes glowing like molten gold, and its roar shook the forest. Villagers panicked, and Kael'thar sprang into action. Liam remembered everything he had learned: observation, patience, quick thinking. He noticed the creature favored its left side, likely injured from a previous fight. Using this information, Liam guided Kael'thar and the villagers to position themselves strategically. Together, they used traps, terrain, and teamwork to corner the predator. Kael'thar struck with precision, but it was Liam's quick thinking, distracting the creature at a crucial moment, that allowed them to subdue it without serious harm. The villagers cheered, and Kael'thar looked at Liam with pride and astonishment. "You are no longer just a human," Kael'thar said. "You are a warrior in every sense of the word. Your courage, intelligence, and heart have saved lives again. I am proud to call you my brother." Liam felt a warmth he had never known. He had come so far, from a small, curious boy on Earth to a respected warrior in a dangerous alien world. He realized that being brave was not about size or strength, but about using every part of oneself, mind, body, and heart, to face challenges and protect others. That night, as they camped under the twin moons, Liam reflected on his journey. He had faced storms, predators, raiders, and his own fears. Each challenge had taught him something new, strengthened his bond with Kael'thar, and proven that humans could survive and thrive in ways that other species often overlooked. Kael'thar sat beside him, silent at first, then spoke. "Liam, you have grown faster than I could have imagined. You are not just learning, you are becoming an example for all who doubt humans. One day your deeds may inspire others across the galaxy." Liam smiled, feeling both humbled and determined. "I want to keep learning. I want to help. I want to be ready for whatever comes next." Kael'thar placed a hand on his shoulder. "Then you will. Together we will face the dangers of this world and beyond. You have proven yourself time and again, but remember, the galaxy is vast and challenges will continue to grow. Courage, intelligence, and heart must always guide you." As Liam drifted to sleep beneath the glowing canopy, he felt a sense of purpose, stronger than ever. He was no longer a boy from Earth. He was a protector, a strategist, a warrior, and most importantly, a brother to the fiercest alien in the galaxy. The journey was far from over. Greater challenges awaited, threats that would test every skill and lesson he had learned. But Liam was ready. With Kael'thar by his side, and the trust of the villagers behind him, he felt unstoppable. For the first time, Liam understood what it truly meant to belong somewhere. It was not about where you were born, or how small you seemed. It was about courage, loyalty, and the will to stand for what was right. He had found a family in Kael'thar, in the villagers, and in himself. And in the quiet glow of the alien world, Liam made a silent promise. He would continue to grow, to learn, and to protect. He would face every danger, overcome every obstacle, and prove that humans were not just survivors. They could become legends. The alien sky burned orange and purple as dawn broke over the mountains. Liam stood beside Kael'thar, his heart pounding with anticipation. Today, the elders had called for a final challenge, a trial that would prove whether he was ready to stand as a true companion and warrior in this world. It was more than a test of strength or intelligence. It was a test of courage, judgment, and heart. Kael'thar turned to him, his amber eyes serious. "Liam, today you face a challenge unlike any you have encountered. The trial will test everything you have learned, your skill, your mind, and your ability to protect others. Remember what I have taught you. Trust yourself and trust your instincts." Liam nodded, swallowing his fear. He had grown so much since stepping through the mysterious cave months ago. He had survived storms, predators, raiders, and countless dangers. He had earned the respect of Kael'thar and the villagers. But this final challenge would prove that he was more than a capable student. It would prove that he was a true brother to the galaxy's fiercest alien. The elders led them to a massive arena carved into the mountainside. The arena was surrounded by cliffs, glowing crystal formations, and treacherous terrain that would test even the strongest alien. Holographic projections flickered in the air, showing a simulation of the most dangerous predators and situations imaginable. But today, the trial would be real. "Your task," the eldest said, his voice echoing across the arena, "is to protect the village from the Great Shadow, a creature of immense power and cunning. Many warriors have faced it and failed. You must use all you have learned to defeat it, or die trying." Liam's stomach twisted with nerves, but Kalthar placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "You are ready," he said simply. "We face this together." Moments later, the ground trembled. A low, menacing growl echoed through the cliffs. The Great Shadow emerged from the forest, a massive creature, taller than a house, with scales dark as obsidian and eyes that glowed like molten gold. Its claws could slice through metal, and its roar shook the ground beneath them. Liam's first instinct was fear. He had faced predators before, but none like this. But then he remembered Kalthar's lessons: courage, intelligence, and heart. He focused, scanning the creature for weaknesses, patterns, and opportunities. Kalthar struck first, his blade slicing through the air with precision. The Great Shadow roared, striking back with devastating force. Liam ducked, narrowly avoiding the swipe of its massive claws. He saw an opening. One side of the creature's scales seemed cracked, likely from old battles. Carefully, he guided Kalthar's attacks toward that side, using strategy rather than brute force. The battle raged across the arena. Liam used every skill he had learned: quick thinking to distract the creature, clever maneuvers to protect villagers projected in the simulation, and teamwork to coordinate with Kalthar. At one point, the creature pinned Kalthar against a cliff. Without hesitation, Liam leapt forward, striking with a weighted net he had crafted during training. The net wrapped around the creature, giving Kalthar the chance to deliver a precise blow. Together, human and alien worked as one. Liam's mind anticipated the creature's moves. Kalthar's strength executed them with deadly precision. Slowly, methodically, they wore down the Great Shadow. Finally, the creature let out a final roar and collapsed, subdued but unharmed. Liam and Kalthar stood side by side, breathing heavily, victorious. The villagers erupted in cheers, and even the elders, who rarely showed emotion, nodded in approval. The eldest approached Liam, placing a massive hand on his shoulder. "Human," he said, "you have proven yourself beyond expectation. You have faced the Great Shadow with courage, intelligence, and heart. You are no longer merely a visitor in our world. You are a protector, a warrior, and a brother." Kalthar looked at Liam, pride shining in his eyes. "I told you," he said, his voice deep and warm, "that you were capable. Today you have earned your place, not just with me, but with all who call this world home." Liam felt a warmth he had never known. Months ago, he had been a curious boy from Earth, small and uncertain, unsure of where he belonged. Now he stood as a hero, respected by aliens stronger and wiser than anyone he had ever imagined. He had found a family, a purpose, and a home among beings he once thought beyond understanding. As the crowd celebrated, Liam realized something even more important. Being a warrior was not only about fighting or surviving. It was about protecting others, making smart decisions, and showing compassion even in the face of danger. He had grown stronger, smarter, and braver than he ever thought possible. That evening, Kalthar and Liam walked through the glowing forest, side by side. The twin moons rose above the horizon, casting silver light on the landscape. Liam's thoughts wandered to Earth, his parents, his old friends. But he no longer felt torn. This world, this journey, had shaped him into someone extraordinary. He belonged here now. "You have come far," Kalthar said quietly, breaking the silence. "Few humans could have survived as you have. Even fewer could have earned the respect of my people and faced the Great Shadow without hesitation." Liam smiled, feeling the weight of Kalthar's words. "I couldn't have done it without your guidance," he admitted. "You taught me how to think, how to be brave, and how to care for others. I'm grateful, Kalthar." The alien warrior placed a hand on Liam's shoulder. "And I am proud of you. You have proven that humans, often underestimated, can rise to greatness. You are clever, courageous, and strong in ways that many cannot see." "You are my brother in every sense of the word." Liam's heart swelled. He realized that true strength came from more than muscle or weaponry. It came from trust, loyalty, and the willingness to face fear for others. He had found that strength within himself, and now it shone brightly for all to see. Over the following weeks, Liam continued to grow. He trained with Kael'thar, helped protect villages, and explored the alien world with newfound confidence. He learned new strategies, discovered hidden dangers, and even taught some of the villagers small human techniques that proved unexpectedly effective. Each day brought new lessons, new challenges, and new victories. But more than anything, Liam had found belonging. He was no longer just a boy from Earth. He was a protector, a hero, and a brother to Kael'thar, the fiercest warrior in the galaxy. And in that bond, Liam discovered something he had never felt before. Family was not only about blood. It was about trust, loyalty, and the courage to stand together in the face of any danger. One quiet evening, as the sun set and the forest glowed with bioluminescent light, Liam sat beside Kael'thar on a cliff overlooking the valley. "Do you think humans like me can really be legends?" he asked softly. Kael'thar looked at him, his expression solemn and proud. "Legends are made not by size or strength or species," he said. "They are made by those who act with courage, intelligence, and heart. Today you are a legend, Liam, and tomorrow you will continue to become one. The galaxy will remember you not just as a human, but as a warrior, a protector, and my brother." Liam smiled, feeling the truth of Kael'thar's words. He had grown far beyond the boy who stumbled into a glowing cave months ago. He had faced unimaginable dangers, learned the ways of an alien warrior, and proven that humans could achieve greatness even in worlds that doubted them. As night fell, the stars reflected in the glowing rivers below, Liam felt a deep sense of peace. He was ready for whatever came next. He had courage, intelligence, and heart. He had Kael'thar by his side. And he had earned his place as a true protector of this alien world. The journey was far from over. But Liam knew one thing. He would never again doubt the strength of humans, the value of friendship, or the power of trust. He had found his place among the galaxy's fiercest warriors, and there he would continue to grow, protect, and inspire. And somewhere deep in the forest, the creatures watched silently, as if acknowledging the boy from Earth who had become a brother to the fiercest alien in the galaxy, a boy who had proved that humans were not just small and fragile, but capable of greatness beyond imagination. The adventure had begun with curiosity, and it had led to courage. Liam knew that this was only the beginning of his story, a story that would be remembered for generations, not because of his size or origin, but because of the heart, mind, and bravery he had shown when it mattered most. The twin moons rose high above, casting a silver glow over the glowing trees. Liam and Kael'thar sat in silence, two companions bound not by blood but by respect, loyalty, and the unbreakable bond of brotherhood. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and wonders, but together they were unstoppable. Liam had become more than a visitor. He had become a hero,